Okay, my dear listeners, I have with us today Miss Kate Owens Heins, and she is a foxy lady, and she has all the things that you need to know about sensory safe. Is that
Solution.
right?
The sensory
Sensory
safe
safe
solution.
solution. Okay, tell everybody what that is, what it means to like give us the 411.
Beautiful. I'm so glad you asked. Thank you so much for having me on today.
You're
I
so
really,
welcome.
really appreciate it. And thank you to whoever is listening. I appreciate your time. Time is so valuable, so I want to thank you for giving us yours. Um, I am Kate Owens Hines, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Sensory Safe Solution. It is the only curriculum of its kind worldwide that educates barbers and stylists how to accommodate those on the autism spectrum.
Mm,
And we're a nonprofit.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so tell everybody, because I know there are stylists and maybe even estheticians who they've all kind of been unexpected. Like this, like a client with autism has come and they're like, whoa, what
Yeah.
do I do now? So tell us, what was your experience? How did you find this nonprofit? Like what's your story?
So I have been behind the chair for 24 years, and I opened my own salon 13 years ago, and that was in 2011. And in 2013, I thought it would be a good idea to have a fifth baby because because
All the
I
business owners know what that means. Okay, go.
and I thought, I have this business that I'm growing. I have these beautiful stylists that I'm growing. My marriage was at the time was so great. I had four other boys
Oh, Lord.
that were, great. And my business at that time had just started being able to sustain itself.
Oh.
So I was actually, I think I was just at the point where I was able to like make a little money, and
Hmm.
I wasn't laying in bed every night in a cold sweat,
Okay.
wondering how I was gonna pay the electric bill. So things were good.
Yeah.
So, I'm a hairstylist and I'm a wild woman. So if things are good, let's push the envelope, right?
Right.
So I had my fifth son, even though everybody was like praying for pink. I had my fifth son, and I want to tell you that was in 2013, and I wish I could tell you that it was perfect.
Mm.
Because everything else in my life, pardon me, at that time was really great. So why wouldn't that baby be great? And that wasn't the case. And it
Mm.
was almost from the moment he was born, I knew that there was something different about him.
Hmm.
And um, as he grew and as things progressed, it got progressively worse. And I had
How old
asked,
were you, if you don't mind me
yeah,
asking? How
no,
old were
I'm so happy to answer that. When I
Oh,
had him, I was 34.
oh
And
God, I'm 33 right now. Okay.
so
All
I
right.
don't want to make you feel any type of way, but because I was 34 in
Uh-huh.
Florida, they considered me, are you ready for this word?
I'm
Ugh,
ready.
geriatric pregnant.
Stop. I am so screwed. Okay.
No, you're not. We were not even going to say those words. We're not even going to put that out there. You are not so screwed. You are blessed beyond measure.
Yes, ma'am.
Your babies are going to be beautiful and
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Continue your
So,
story.
and my husband at the time was 36.
Okay.
And already by then, I had been a parent for 16 years. My oldest were 16. They were freshmen in high school.
Okay.
And then we had a few other ages in between. And I was, 34. I was 36 when, all this shit started to hit the fan.
Mm,
And I had said to my ex-husband, "Do you think there's something going on with him?" And he said, "There ain't nothing wrong with that baby." And I said, "Okay." I
mm,
asked my mom. She said, "You're crazy." The preschool said he's spoiled. The pediatrician told me he was fine. He makes eye contact.
mm,
Now, I was watching my baby live in what I felt like was hell. He would tantrum from the time he opened his eyes until the time he went to sleep.
mm,
There was no happiness.
mm,
And I remember thinking, thinking, like, God, why are you so cruel?
mm,
Like, why would you let a little innocent baby suffer like this? And, I thought either I was crazy, one,
mhm.
two, he was possessed. Like literally, these were
Mhm.
my last things that I could think of. One,
Yeah,
I was crazy. Two, he was possessed.
right.
Or, or three, that it was what I thought it was. Like right in
Hmm.
the pit of my stomach, in that voice of intuition, that,
Yeah,
God voice. I knew.
yeah.
And, the pediatrician's telling me no. And I remember begging her, saying, "Please, I want to be wrong. I don't want to be right. Just send me to where I need to go
Hmm.
to find out for sure that, I'm crazy."
Right.
She gave me the referral. And I remember them giving him the test and watching. And it looked to me like they were just playing with toys. Like
Oh,
just playing with
okay.
toys. And it was minutes. And how does just playing with toys for a couple minutes change the course of my entire life? And they said, "Miss Owens, come in.
Hmm.
We have a diagnosis." And they said, "Please sit down."
Mm,
I knew,
I got
I knew,
chills.
"Please sit down." And they said, "Your baby has right under severe autism, and he's considered disabled for the rest of his life."
Mm.
And I must have just sat there with my mouth open
Yeah.
because they're super sweet here in Florida. And the lady said, "Ma, you understand? Go to Social Security. He's disabled." And
Uh-huh.
I felt like the whole world fell out from under me.
Uh,
I'm a runner. So I
mm,
remember just my mom was at the diagnosis and she took my son, and I
mm,
just got in the car and, you know, ran from it. And I called my dad,
mhm,
and I was crying so hard I was drooling. And I
mm,
said, "He has autism." And God rest my dad's soul. He said, "I need you to stop crying because I need you to hear me." And I wiped my eyes and
mhm,
I said, "Okay, all right, Dad, I can hear you." And I thought this was the moment that my hockey coach of a dad, like, really loves me and, oh, my
uh-huh.
baby. That was not the case.
Mm,
And he said, "As soon as we get off the phone, I want you to find the nearest hospital, and I want you to find the sickest kid there. And I want you to ask that mom if she'll trade places with you." And I said, "You're a jerk." And he said, "I'm not done.
mm,
Then I want you to go to the cemetery and you see if there's a mom there that'll trade with you for autism." And I hung up on him. I could not receive that
mm.
tough love right then.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you that there was so many times that I sat on the bathroom floor, locked in that bathroom, and crying my eyes out, thinking I still won't trade. I
Mm,
still would not trade. I will not trade.
Mm.
At Waylon's diagnosis, he had a 10% quality of life. That was the quality of life they gave him was 10%. You and I, probably everyone listening to this,
Hmm.
if they want to listen to my little story,
Well,
um,
I am getting goosebumps. So anybody who's not listening, what are you doing with your life? Like, in any case.
right?
Go ahead.
Where anyone listening, we have 100% quality of life.
Oh. Okay, let me just pause you right there because that is so powerful. Like you're saying this, and it's like, wow, because we all have our problems, right? And I'm driving here, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go do this, and that, and this sucks, or
Yeah,
whatever. And here you are. No, we have 100% quality of life. Our problems are nothing in
yeah,
comparison to your baby who is 10% quality of life here.
yeah.
This is intense. Okay.
So he was now at the time that I got Florida's really tough for services. There's other states that are really great.
Hmm.
Florida's not one. So I really had to fight to even get a diagnosis for him. And I
Hmm.
want to just tell you that when the doctor gave me that referral, it was not as easy as call the doctor and they'll see you. They told me the wait was 6 months to a year to get that diagnosis. But
Oh,
the
okay.
same dad that, said those mean things that saved my life,
Yeah, exactly.
um, taught me you don't, that's not an answer. That is unacceptable. And he taught me how to be a stalker when,
Mm.
when it's something that's important to me. So I did things
Mm.
like called places every single day until they got so sick of hearing from me. They just said, give that lady an appointment.
Mm.
She will shut up.
I love
So
that.
that
Love
was how
that. Amen. Yes, do it.
that's what I had to do, with that. And they gave him the 10% quality of life, which meant he was nonverbal.
Mm.
It meant that he was banging his head. He was doing 70 head bangs an hour
Mm.
and was highly aggressive. And he could not tolerate leaving our home.
Oh.
So to get him out of the house for anything, I would physically have to drag him, kicking, screaming, fighting, scratching, punching, kicking, just to leave the house. And it was like that the whole time we were outside of the home.
Mm.
So I spent a lot of nights wondering what I did to cause this.
Hmm.
Was it because I was older? Was it because my ex-husband was older? Was it vaccines? Was it genetic? Was it, um, you know, was it all the pot I smoked in high school? I just
Yeah.
went through the list. Was it,
Yeah.
what did I do?
Right.
In the middle of the night one night, I remember thinking to myself, that doesn't matter.
Mm.
You know, what am I gonna do about it?
Yeah. What am I doing now? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this doctor had given me a fat stack of referrals, and they were all referrals for services that all had year-long waits that
Hmm.
I had to become really good friends with them and call them every day.
Hmm.
And we started services. And for the next few years, I put my marriage to the side, my business to the side, my four other boys to the side, the size of my ass, because I'm always obsessed with how big or small I am, or, going to the gym and what I
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah.
That went to the side.
Yeah.
The only thing that mattered to me was improving his quality of life.
Yeah.
And anyone listening to this, please don't think like, oh, I'm such a great mom. There's a selfish piece of that because
Mm.
I wanted a better life for me too.
Right.
It wasn't just a better life for him. It was,
Hmm.
his life gets good, then mine does.
Hmm.
And I dove headfirst into services and we signed up for all of the resources, ABA, speech, OT, equestrian therapy, speech therapy, play therapy, music therapy, pet
Wow.
therapy, play groups, behavior therapy, all those things. And I just want to share with you one of these therapies, the woman said is 30 hours a week in
Oh,
home.
oh my God.
And 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 don't you the lady told me, and this is with you. Like, don't send me we're not babysitters. We're here to teach you.
Hmm.
So I had to give that one therapy 30 hours of work a week. And that first year was really, really hard. Um, I was just putting together some pictures from my phone,
Hmm.
and I couldn't believe some of these pictures. Pictures of my face all scratched up, my middle son, his face scratched up, bruises, bite marks on my legs, scratches all over my arms. To go to work, I would have to wear long sleeve shirts and long pants.
And in
So,
Florida, you're sweating your ass off,
my
so
God, well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like a
yeah.
1,000% humidity here.
Uh-huh.
But if I didn't wear that to cover the marks, I looked like I was being abused.
Hmm.
And in a lot of ways, I was, because I felt there was times that I felt like this must be what a battered wife feels like,
Oh, yeah.
but I can't leave my baby.
Right.
I'm not leaving my baby, no matter how bad, how tough, I can't leave him.
Hmm.
And I stuck it out.
Hmm.
And within 1 year, he went from a 10% quality of life to an 80% quality.
Wow. Chills right now. Oh my God.
And I get kind of emotional thinking about how much joy I would have missed if I let him stay in that prison
Hmm.
that autism had created for him. I can't imagine only getting 10% of the beautiful soul that he is, and,
Hmm.
seeing who he is and how hard he's worked has been is my greatest joy, is to see him do so fantastic with his little life. He obviously talks now. He
Yay.
doesn't hush. He does not stop talking.
Oh, I
He,
love it. I
he's
love it.
obsessed with me, and I'm obsessed with him. And typically, when I teach a sensory safe certification, I've been on stage and I've talked about this, that usually I'll have about 10 missed FaceTimes from him.
Oh, oh,
And
so cute.
there was a time that the class, I said, if there's any questions, before we wrap up, and a girl said, will you look at your phone and see if you have a missed call from Waylon? And I said,
Oh,
sure. And
check it out.
I grabbed my phone and I did, and they said, call him.
Oh.
And that's a roll of the dice, because one thing I can tell you for sure is, if you think you know autism, give it a minute, because you don't. Because anything
Hmm.
can happen at any time. And I like to push things, so I called Waylon from a stage, and he got on and he said, "Hey mom, where are you?" I said, "I'm at
Oh.
Paul Mitchell School, Tampa. I'm teaching." He said, you're teaching kids to not be afraid of haircuts." I said, "That is exactly what
Oh.
I'm doing." I said, "Would you be okay saying hi to my friends?" And he said yes. And I turned the camera, and they all 50 students yelled, "Hi, Waylon." And he said, "Hi, guys."
He's so, so cute.
And he is living his best life. He has friends, he has a community of a tribe that he's built around him. He calls his family his characters, and he wants his characters, and he wants parties. And at school, he likes to make the announcements over the intercom. He wants to make the school announcement on what's for lunch in the cafeteria, hold mic. And I gotta tell you, I don't know where he gets that from.
So,
Me.
okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So he
Okay,
is
so
beautiful.
what how are you teaching beauty and barber pros? Like, how do you teach them to not be afraid?
Okay, well, here we go.
Okay.
Well, I teach them, okay, knowledge extinguishes fear.
Hmm.
We fear what we don't know.
Yeah.
So the whole first hour of the Sensory Safe Solution certification is an autism overview.
Mm.
Explains autism. This is what autism is. It's a developmental disability. Which means it's a neurodevelopmental disability. So, and a neurodevelopmental disorder. So, neuro means brain,
Hmm.
and development is in development.
Right.
It's not a personality disorder, it's not a mental illness. It
Mm.
is it's a neurodevelopmental disorder, and we
Right.
talk about that. And we talk about in our course how autism affects the brain
Uh-huh.
and all the functions of the brain and how autism affects each function in the
Mm.
brain. And then we teach hairdressers and barbers and nail techs and massage therapists how to visually identify someone that might come in and sit in their chair and may have autism. And what we teach is yes, you can visually see that they might have autism or
Hmm.
might have sensory processing. That doesn't mean you have to be like, hey,
Right.
they have autism. Hey, do you have autism? No,
No.
you you have a light bulb moment.
Hmm.
You say, wow, I might have to make some accommodations. So you
Hmm.
immediately put start beginning the accommodations that can save an appointment so quickly.
I love it. Okay, so
So
now go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna wait.
I, Waylon's life got good.
Hmm.
My life got good. I looked around at his peers and became horrified. I noticed that none of his peers looked like my baby. I was trained in a barber shop. That's
Hmm.
where I learned how to cut, which
Okay.
makes me a badass mother cutter.
Yes, exactly. You took the words out of my mouth.
So my
Uh-huh.
baby had a skin fade, a zero skin fade. He had a hard part and a red pompadour. My baby looking fly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
None of his peers looked like that. I was like, what the heck? So
Hmm.
I said to one of the moms, hey, I'm Kate. I have a salon here in Bonita Springs. We would love to take care of you and your daughter. She said, that's my son. I said, well, his hair is beautiful. I'm so sorry. I'd love to take care of both of you. She said, no, thank you. I said, what? Because
Yeah.
people don't do me like that. They
Like,
don't say
excuse me.
no. They're
I'm
right.
awesome.
Do you even know who I am? I have a wait list.
I know.
She said, no, thank you. We've been kicked out of a shop. No, thank you. That's why I thought it was a girl because he had hair all the way down to his backside.
Oh,
Now, I didn't think much of it other than I thought, like, oh, she's rude.
uh-huh.
And then, me being judgmental and not
Yeah.
understanding yet
Yeah.
what
Right.
the problem was.
Right.
So then another mother, I saw her son, and when you see a haircut in the airport or at, a store like Walmart, and you look and you're like, oh, all I need to do is fix that is like I need some thinning shears. Maybe
Yes.
they can come over to the gardening section. There's some
Just,
water.
ah,
I can
yes.
fix this so quick. Allow me to be a hero. Hold on. Hold my cape because
Yeah.
I can make you look so good so quick.
Yeah.
It was like that. The individual had like really hard, crooked, straight bangs that you could tell were just like
Oh,
meh, 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 right across. Then the sides were like they were brutal. You could like see all the cut marks on the sides. And then the back was just long.
Oh, yes, I'm
It
having
was like a
anxiety.
it was like a form of the mullet before the mullet came back again to be cool, but it was a very crude one.
Yes.
I gave mom my card and said I would love to take care of you. I have a salon, it's a safe space.
Yeah.
She broke down and started crying. And I'm like, she
Like,
said, I can't do that to him again. I said, do what? She said, it took four of us to hold him down.
oh, poor baby.
And she said, he cried about it for months. She said, I cut him while he's sleeping. I said, you do hair? She said, I work at the grocery store. She said, I cut him while he's sleeping herself. Those two families,
Oh,
do you know how many more there are?
oh, thousands, hundreds, hundreds of thousands.
And that inspired, that was like, oh my gosh, we need to create a safe space. I was invited to the capital of Florida to
Mm.
speak before it was the Congress and it was the House of Representatives and I think it was the Senate or I was speaking, I was invited up there to some
Yeah.
fancy stuff.
Oh. Yeah.
And I got up there and I was overcome with this desire, like I want to be part of big change.
Mm.
Big change. I want to be part of change that can be felt at such a high level. And I met some really brilliant women up there.
Mhm.
And on the way home, it was like a 5 hour drive.
Mhm.
And on the way home, I heard this still small voice that asked me, had I done enough in my industry yet?
Oh,
And I was like,
you're like, damn it. No.
no. The answer was no.
Uh-huh.
So for the next 5 years, 6 years, we opened up Kate's Cuts for a sensory safe Sunday. We began serving the community at a high level. I met my autism specialist up at the Capitol. And then things just started moving really fast. And the more sensory safe Sundays we did, the busier we got and the more
Wow.
stories I heard. And a family was driving 3 hours one way, for a little person's head this big to find a safe, compassionate space where that individual was welcome and the family felt welcome. And if you think about that, that's 7 hours round trip.
Mm-hmm.
I was ashamed of our industry for the first time ever. I was like, this is the best we can do. This is the best we can do. No, we have got to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest inspiration, you know, the little guy with the hair down his back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he came?
The next time I saw him, I cried
Mm.
because I said, what happened to him?
Mm.
And the woman with me laughed and she said, you didn't know? That's the official haircut of autism. They shaved his head to a one.
Oh.
Hair down his back to a shaved head to a one. And that's the best we behind the chair can do? No,
Mm.
no, we've got to do better. So, um, my autism specialist said to me, tell me about what people in your industry are teaching about how to serve the autism community. I said, there's nothing. There is literally nothing.
Right.
She didn't believe me.
Uh,
And when she finally did, we wrote the curriculum for Sensory Safe.
wow.
And it is a 2 hour certification. It was written with 5,000 hours worth of sensory safe cutting data.
Wow.
to write it, along with um, individuals that have master's degrees in early childhood development, special education, um, behavior therapists, occupational therapists,
Wow.
speech therapists. Like so much went into writing this curriculum.
Hmm.
It truly is a specialized course. And within 2 hours, you're considered sensory safe certified.
Mm.
And what that means is, we give you a display,
Hmm.
certification display.
Hmm.
We give you a virtual certification to put up, a web badge, a decal. We email you the templates for success so there's no questions on best practices.
Right.
But the most important thing that we've done is we've created a list on our website where families
Mm.
can find you
Oh,
so
good.
they can find a safe space for someone they love or a safe space for themselves.
Hmm.
And I'd love to share with you some statistics.
Yes, please. Absolutely. This has been the best episode because I haven't had to ask any questions. Every question that I thought of, you've already answered. So please continue.
So listen, if there's any work you need to do, you just do your work and I'll just keep yicking yakking.
You're fine. Go ahead. Share these
So
numbers because this is important.
absolutely. So when Waylon was born in 2013, one out of 155 individuals were diagnosed with autism. Out of 155, one person had autism in 2013. In 2023,
Mhm.
10 years later, when we wrote the curriculum, the CDC reported that one out of every 36 8-year-olds were autistic. One out of 36 in 10 years. That jump is obscene. But wait, there's more. They're predicting new CDC reports and the projection in the next few years is one out of 11.
What is happening?
Oh, wait, I'm not done. And the prediction for 2035 is one out of two.
Okay, what is happening? Is it the foods we're eating? Is it the foods we're eating? Okay.
No, 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 no. I'm just shaking
Oh,
my head because I'm
oh,
going to
I'm
go
like,
there with you.
okay, okay,
So we talk about that in our curriculum.
okay.
80%, about 80% of autism diagnosis are now genetically linked,
Mm.
have a genetic origin. And then the other about 20% are environmental factors. That's about as specific as we can nail down to
Mhm.
give to you. And the 20% environmental, what could it be? Okay, what do you think it could be? What we eat, what we breathe, what's in our water, what's in our food. Um, is it older parents? Is it vaccines? Is it Diet Coke, ibuprofen?
Mm.
There has been a lot of studies recently, and that's why we offer like a recertification, but more than recertification, an
Upgrade.
accommodation is accommodation. You
Right,
want to know some new stats? Come on, and
right.
we'll tell you some new stats. But the way we're teaching you to accommodate, that is not going to change. These are just
Mhm.
accommodations and strategies for success. None of that will change.
Right.
Statistics are going to. But
Okay.
like they did a study on ibuprofen and they found and Diet Coke and all these things, but they actually found it was either Tylenol or ibuprofen. No,
Uh-huh.
it was Tylenol because you're supposed to be able to take that when you're pregnant. They saw significant swelling in the infant's brainstem and they connected it with autism.
goodness.
and gut health. There's a lot of studies going on with gut to brain
Uh-huh.
and, and vaccines. They said yes, then they said no, and now
Hmm.
they're researching again for more yes and maybe more no. And
It's
what
a
I can
lot.
tell you what I can tell you for sure
Mm.
is I don't know why, but I can tell you in our industry, the whys that are,
Mm-hmm.
I want to treat them
Yeah.
just as good as everybody else. And I want to make sure that everyone has the basic human right to look good. You know
Mm-hmm.
that look good, feel better?
Yeah. Yep.
Why is that not for neurodiversity too?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've in the past year and a half, well, actually in 2024, we certified 2,000 more
Wow.
sensory safe providers.
Wow.
And so many people has said to me, it makes me a better stylist
Yeah.
for all my guests.
Yeah.
All my guests.
That's
So
so awesome. I love it. I love it.
so
Oh
my
my
whole
God.
reason for getting out of bed and breathing is to revolutionize the way we behind the chair accommodate those
Mm-hmm.
autism, sensory processing, related disabilities like anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
post-traumatic stress,
Yeah.
dementia, Alzheimer's.
All those things. I want to go. I'm gonna go to the website right after this, and
Please,
I'm gonna tell all my babes here in the salon, like, you guys need to do this right now.
I
What
love
happened? What
it.
happened? Now, this is just me. This is neither here nor there, but my inner curiosity, I just need to know, right?
Yes, yes.
What happened with the father of Waylon?
So, you know, I just spoke in front of legislators here in Florida
Hmm.
yesterday.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to have our voice as caregivers be heard.
Hmm.
And so many individuals that were able to get up on the mic said what autism causes
Hmm.
for the caregivers and the
Hmm.
families. And a lot of times, being a caregiver will put families bankrupt
Hmm.
and it causes divorces
Hmm.
and it causes isolation. And
Hmm.
do you know that they said that parents of children that have significant autism have the same post-traumatic stress as
Oh,
war veterans?
wow.
I did not know that.
No.
I didn't know that. Um, our marriage didn't make it, and it really, really went to pot when, went to shit
Hmm.
in that diagnosis.
Yeah.
And, he's a great guy, he's a great dad,
Hmm.
but we weren't able to get through that.
Yeah.
And he ended up moving out of state shortly after we divorced.
Mm.
And I will tell you, you know, there was a lot of things I said
Yeah. Sure.
about him moving out of state, but
Yeah.
can I tell you what's been the most beautiful thing?
But
Is that I can go to Fort Myers Airport, kiss Waylon on his little fat cheek, and say, have a great time visiting dad. And he gets on an airplane as an unaccompanied minor with his brother and
wow.
blows my mind every single time.
Wow.
And that would not have been possible if
Yeah.
my ex-husband stayed around here. Waylon is developing an independence that I never knew he would have.
That's awesome.
So I'm grateful for that.
And then all of the people who you were calling every day, have they
Yeah.
jumped on board
Oh
now
my
with the
gosh.
nonprofit or what?
Oh my gosh. Like all the people that I stalked for services,
Yeah.
they've ended up um, becoming pillars of of people that I look up to.
Wow, cool.
And not for 1 second have I not reached out to them and said, thank you so much. You saved my life.
Okay.
And you saved Waylon's life. And I can never, there aren't enough words to tell you how grateful I
Yeah.
am for giving me my baby.
Yeah.
And they're,
Yeah.
so many friends, and I've created a real community of support for
Hmm.
autism, in this neck of the woods. That's
Hmm.
kind of what I'm known for now. Um, but I know my calling,
Yeah.
and I absolutely will help a new mom with diagnosis every time.
Hmm.
But my calling is a bigger level, is a higher level, is a bigger reach. My job
Hmm.
is to make sure that stylists and barbers and nail techs and estheticians are able to be fully inclusive.
That's beautiful.
And I'm going to do that until the job is done.
I love it.
Whether that be that every single cosmetology book or state board adopts an autism chapter, a couple pages, whatever it may be,
Hmm.
you know, mandates that I'm continuing ed, or educate every single student that is the future of our industry
Love it.
and make sure that they're safe.
All right, so what are the plans? Are you going to go to the United States Congress and you're going to tell them to get their act together?
Oh, girl.
Or is this just for the state of Florida?
Oh, let me just tell you our numbers. I forgot that part. I forgot that part.
Okay.
So I kind of just laid out my plan. Um, my goal is to
Yeah.
have industry be inclusive, and that means whatever it takes.
Hmm.
And in the past year and a half, we have sensory safe certified 2,226 sensory safe providers.
Love that.
We are in 32 states.
Yes, okay.
We have 30 educators, and we're in 4 countries.
Oh, oh, girl, I got chills. Okay, okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, you didn't know?
I did not, girl.
Now you do.
Okay, okay. We
And
are.
if anybody on here is listening from Alabama, Alabama, no, listen, I know my goals.
Okay.
And Alabama is where my ex-husband lives. And Alabama is one of my states that I don't have checked off. I have no sensory safe providers in Alabama. If you're listening to this and you're in Alabama, reach out to me. I'm going to sensory safe certify you for free as my first.
Oh.
I gotta listen, I've been saying it for a little bit. I want Alabama. Why? I don't know. I just want to check it off the list. Let's go. Let's go. And roll tide.
Oh, love it. Love it.
And even if you're an Auburn fan, whoever you are in Alabama, you can still get sensory safe certified.
You're so funny. You're so funny. Oh
Thanks.
my God. So we are global. This is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. We are globally um educating.
I am stunned. Like my brain just kind of exploded for a minute. That's the most beautiful thing I've heard. This is great. Okay, so how can people get more involved? What if they want to be a part of the team? What if
Yeah.
they want to tell us all the things, like get more into it?
So the first thing you want to do is you can follow us on Instagram,
Okay.
please and thank you. Follow us on Facebook, and then visit our website
Mhm.
and click events. And the events will tell you where we are educating. We educate online and in person. It
Oh,
is
good.
the exact same certification.
Okay.
And sign up and get sensory safe certified. And if you're the only one in your state, then I challenge you to lead the charge of
Mhm.
inclusivity and be responsible for safe spaces in your community. Be the hero
Mhm.
that so many people need.
Yeah.
And once you're sensory safe certified, about 3 times a year. My goal is four. We haven't gotten there yet. 3 times a year, we hold a train the trainer. And that is a 3 day course.
Mhm.
And we would love to invite you to be part of spreading the mission.
Love it.
And some of the questions I get is, do you have to be sensory safe certified to be an educator? Yes,
Yeah.
because I don't want you showing up,
Right.
seeing my curriculum and not believing what I believe.
Right.
So, yes, you have to be sensory safe certified first. Can you be a student and attend my certification to be an educator? Yes. You
Mhm.
can be a student and be sensory safe certified. Because I'll tell you, the mom down the street that hasn't been able to get a haircut for her individual for 4 years does not care if she needs to come into a hair school to do it. You
Mm.
have the power to
That's
change a
beautiful.
life right from hair school, and you can teach a 2 hour sensory safe course even if you're a student.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, yeah. And I've had students that come.
Oh, I love it. I
That,
love that. That is so empowering for students, you know? Oh my God. Okay, time is going.
okay.
What is a question that you wish I would have asked you that I did not, and how would you have answered?
Yes, my hair is naturally curly. And yes, I'm a redhead. Well, auburn, like an Irish setter.
That's beautiful. I love it. Yes, girl. I identify. This is not real. This is color. But I identify as a redhead. I got the temper.
You are every bit a redhead. You embody
Thank you.
redhead. And I know it probably doesn't look like it right now, but as soon as anybody
Beautiful.
starts doing my highlights, they go, "You're orange."
Orange.
I know.
Oh, I
Do
love it.
you have any questions for me?
I feel like you answered everything. The only thing else that I can say and then I can add is for the listeners, for the people watching on the YouTube channel, go go find Kate. I know we both are gonna be at Orlando Premiere. Where else are you gonna be going? What's your tour
Oh,
schedule like?
so we're going to be at the Midwest Barber Expo. We're going to be at the Mississippi State Board of Cosmetology and Barbering. We're going to be at Midwest NABA in Vegas. We're going to be at IBS Chicago. We're going to be
Love
at
it.
Premier Anaheim. We're going to be at, is it ABS New York?
I think so.
We're going to be at a lot of barber expos.
I
It's
love that.
almost every single weekend that we're
Wow.
having, like from the end of February to like the middle of April.
Mhm.
It's almost every weekend. Oh, we're going to the Puerto Rico experience.
Whoa.
We are we're everywhere.
I love it.
And a lot of those weekends are triple booked, like 3 shows.
Oh,
So I'm
good.
sending teams.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you
Mhm.
like to travel and you think you have what it takes to um, teach our curriculum with
Oh
excellence,
my God, do it.
let's go. Let's
Do
go.
it.
And if you're listening to this and you have a heart for the mission and you don't get sensory safe certified, please know that we're a nonprofit and we could definitely use the support in the form of a donation.
Beautiful. Yes.
And I'd love to tell you what we do with
Yeah.
any donated money or
Yeah.
grant money.
Yeah.
We certify entire barber or cosmetology schools for free.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Kate.
Mhm. They need it the most. They need to not pay for this. So we got a grant we've gotten a few grants. One of them from Win Claybaugh's Andrew Gomez
Mm,
Dream Foundation.
hmm.
And we've used that and certified so many
Yeah.
cosmetology G students for free.
They need this. That is how you are creating change for the next generation.
Uh-huh. So
God bless you.
if you're a student on here and you want your cosmetology or barbering school to be sensory safe certified
Yeah.
for free and be completely inclusive, which means creating a huge impact on your community and state, and you
Mm.
want to be responsible for that safety and inclusion, hit me up and we'll come take care of your whole school.
Okay. I love this. Oh my God. Everybody listening, you need to get on this. This is so huge, especially if you're listening to those statistics for our future.
Yeah.
We need to know this. This is not optional.
So I was on a live the other night and I got real sassy and I was like, you don't think you need me now? You're going to see me in 2035. You'll need me then. And by then, the price is going up. So just see me now.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Oh
Get
my,
ready.
oh my God, Kate. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming. Oh, if anybody doesn't know, I met Kate last year. And what an introduction we had. And I have to tell you, we have our picture actually in the salon slideshow. And everybody always looks at our photo because we were both laughing. And they're like, "Who is that? Why you're having such a good time? Who is she?" And I was like, "Let me tell you who
Stranger.
she is. Let me tell you who she is, okay?" And it's great. So, thank
But
you,
we
Kate.
just met each other.
I
We
know.
just met each other. And the vibe was like immediate. I was
It
like, oh,
was
I have some
fire.
fun
It was
with
fire.
her.
Okay, my love. I will talk to you soon. I will see you later. Everybody go follow her, go connect with Kate, get on board with this program. And people in Alabama, we're watching you. Okay?
Please. Roll
All right.
Tide. Thank you so much.
Thank you.